Sable and Jacqueline. Well, Sable revealed more than people thought she would reveal. I know she usually reveals a lot, and Major Payne's here. Major Payne, what's going on?
Hello, how's it going?
All right, take over for a second. Tell us what happened in Nitro.
All right, I only saw Nitro on the replay because I had a late night Monday night and got back in town. And I did see the rematch, and Goldberg spoke out for the first time that I've ever heard him speak out. I was kind of surprised to hear it. But what did he talk about? He talked about finally wanting to work his way through NWO Black and White. Hollywood Hogan, he said he had pretty much had enough. He talked like he had a frog in his throat. It was kind of interesting. But he said he was going to make an example out of Bryan Adams, and he did. I was talking about Goldberg. Because I just caught the replay of Nitro. Goldberg
matches are pretty predictable. Fans, I'm trying to work on getting Goldberg as a guest or like a taped interview. I know he's really busy right now. One of my friends knows him pretty well. He talked to him. He's been pretty hectic schedule. Facing Kurt Hennig every day and facing a lot of like Glacier and other guys like that.
Yeah.
But he's a champion. You got to give him credit where credit is due. He's only going to get better, and he's not going to lose anytime soon. But Nitro lost again in the ratings. I don't know if you knew that.
I'm not surprised. I heard you say that when I just got back from a softball game, is why I'm so dirty looking.
That's fine. I don't care.
So I heard about that, and I'm not surprised. I didn't get to watch either one of them. I watched most of Nitro on the replay late at night. But I'm not surprised with that Bash at the Beach match.
That was
everybody who cared about it had already seen it. So.
Yeah, and it was they dragged it out. I thought they could have edited some of cut it down to a shorter time frame. They had the guys come out, intros and everything. I thought that was just kind of lame. I didn't like that idea at all.
Yeah, it was just a poorly done match all the way around. Rodman, I don't.
Rodman.
Gosh, I love the way he would tag in and then just step back out of the ring.
Yeah, he did a couple headlocks. He had some good headlocks. And what do you think about the Sable revealing?
I heard about that. Well, actually, I heard what was it like? I heard Jack because I didn't get to see it. I heard Jacqueline had
fell out of her.
Shown a little bit, but then. Now I hear Sable show. Wow.
So hey, man, WWF pay-per-views are pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I guess
when you compare the WWF and WCW.
I don't know about $30, but it's it's
get you about 10 friends together. It's definitely worth it.
That's true. What do you think about Jay Leno coming into wrestling?
Oh yeah, I've heard about that, and I saw the thing on the Tonight Show the other night. I just happened to flip it on. Yeah. Of course, they showed it. From what I understand, several times on Nitro the other night, where he brought the short midget version of Hulk Hogan out. I thought that was pretty funny, but I think WCW is getting pretty ridiculous with bringing in these non-wrestlers. They got lots and lots of decent wrestlers, and they need to just use them better.
2 weeks ago, they got a lot of talent, and I just think they're not using their talent to their full potential. And recently, I guess a little interview with Ric Flair. Ric Flair says the Horsemen would be great if they put them back together with Dave Malenko and Chris Benoit and Steve Mongo McMichaels, Arn Anderson as their manager or whatnot. And but they don't know who the fourth guy is. But he says in 3 hours of television, you got 3 hours of television for World Championship Wrestling. They got some enough space to put them in there.
Oh yeah.
I just don't. See, that's why I think they're running out of ideas. That's why they had to rerun the Bash at the Beach pay-per-view match.
Right.
I mean, that people have already seen that. I mean, especially when you buy a ticket to go to a place, a coliseum, or whatever, and you go there to see matches. You don't go there to see a rerun. And in the first hour, you only see about two matches.
Right.
It's a bunch of BS they talk. It's either about Goldberg or it's about
how many times can you hear Hogan say the same thing?
Or Hogan comes out every day, and WWF does the same thing, but I think they have a little bit of more matches, I think they give the fans a little bit more.
Oh, yeah,
because it's wressling. It might be a soap opera for some fans, but I mean it's wrestling and people need to wrestle.
Right.
I was so glad to see an old comer, the Brooklyn Brawler. I was back at the pay-per-view this past Sunday at Fully Loaded, and since the Undertaker wasn't there, that was supposed to be his tag team partner, Steve Austin's partner, I believe. I didn't see the pay-per-view, but that was supposed to be his partner. And Brooklyn Brawler, he's one of the best workers around. You might say, well, he's lost a lot of matches, but a lot of guys that lose a lot carry a lot of the big successes in wrestling.
That's true.
And I don't want to reveal too much, but Barry Horowitz, great wrestler. If you don't think so, get in the ring with him. He'll teach you a couple of things. And I mean, he's made guys like the Ultimate Warrior and Stone Colds. They made all those guys made them look good. They might get the fame, but the jobbers, man, they are important to wrestling.
Yeah, I heard you have a couple of guests calling up. I was listening to you on the way over.
Well, one of them was supposed to call up. Notorious D.O.G hasn't called me yet, and I'm trying. I know my mystery guest will call.
Really, I'm excited about that. I do have word on the Darkness. This is the last I heard last night.
No, yeah.
The Darkness has been working at a new job and has been working every night. And tonight's his night off, and his mommy came into town. So he's out with his mommy having dinner, I believe.
Well, yeah, because the dog, Notorious D.O.G was gonna, tell.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was looking forward to seeing the Darkness backed into a corner like that.
I'm going to give people a fully loaded recap. Yeah, the pay-per-view fully loaded. Yep, you got new tag team champions. Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker are the new champions. Also, Val Venus made his first pay-per-view appearance against Jeff Jarrett. And now you think, Jeff Jarrett, with all the experience that he has, he would be able to take down Val Venus for 1, 2, and 3. But Val Venus pulled off the victory. Now he's in a feud with Kai and Tai. And, Val Venus took, I guess, the manager's wife. I don't know the manager's name, but he took their manager's wife. And things are not looking too bright for Val Venus. They brought a sword out this past Monday Nitro, and things got kind of hectic. Also, Funk is leaving. Yes, Terry Funk is leaving for 6 months. He's appearing in a movie, I believe. He's taking a 6-month leave, and Bradshaw, his tag team partner for Fully Loaded, did not appreciate that and took Funk out after Funk was pinned by a Scorpio and Farouk. It looks like Farouk and Scorpio are going to be on the rise. Farouk hasn't got a big push lately, since the late 90s. Early 90s, he was on top of his game, and Farouk needs to step back one more time. Got kicked out of the Nation of Domination by Rocky Maivia, and hopefully things will be turning around for both of them guys. Scorpio, a wrestler in ECW, took a lot of belts, and he had a good run in ECW, and he just hasn't been happening over in the WWF. Also, Mark Henry beat Vader. It's Vader time. What happened to that? Vader's gone. They say, Vince McMahon's been complaining about how fat he is. Well, I guess that's why he's losing all of his matches. But Mark Henry's no, skinny guy either. And Mark Henry can't wrestle. Believe it or not, fans. I heard that. People on the internet were talking to me and saying that was like the worst match of the whole pay-per-view. And Vader's a good wrestler, I believe, and Mark Henry he can't work with anybody. You put him in the ring and he's just a big brick.
Yeah.
He's the immovable object. D'Lo beat X-Pac in what was a good match. Interference as usual, and D'Lo, what do you think about D'Lo?
I enjoyed it. I was glad he won the belt the week before, and then I'm glad to hear he defended successfully. I like him a lot. He's pretty excited. He's pretty excited to watch when he won the match. He got all happy and excited. I think he's a pretty decent wrestler, I believe. Yeah, he's a good heel too, and he's a goofy guy. People like that about him. And D'Lo Brown, I never they said he's going to be one of the upcoming wrestlers in the World Wrestling Federation, and I believe he's going to get the push that he needs and come to the top. I think Rocky Maivia is going to get a big push in the upcoming years. He's one of my favorite in the WWF right now. And speaking of Rocky Maivia and Triple H, they had a best out of 3 falls match at Fully Loaded, which Rocky Maivia won. China interfered and lost Triple H the final match, and it looks like, I told you last week, SummerSlam, looks like there's going to be a collision course there for a ladder match. Ladder match between both men. Shawn Michaels will be the referee, from what I'm hearing. Oh, wow. And that was basically it for the Fully Loaded. You got Terry Funk leaving wrestling for a while, 53 years old, going back to the movie scene. Damn, Funk's getting more movie contracts than Hulk Hogan. Yeah. Hollywood Hogan. Definitely better. Movies, too, probably, I'm sure. Going back to the independent circuit a little bit, you got Music City Wrestling coming to the Georgia Bell Flea Market this Thursday, again, at 7:30 bell time. And it should be a pretty decent show. You got Vicious Vic Rose on the show. My guest from last week will be there. And also, you got Bad Boy Billy Black in the house. And he'll probably be putting up his Music City title. You can also watch that show on TV at 2:30 in the morning, Saturday mornings, on channel 34. That's
it's a pretty good show for an independent, and you know, it can only get better. But it's competition. The International Wrestling Union will be hitting the scene in late August, early fall, and they got a good card coming up. They got Mr. Hughes going to be there against Mr. Olympia.
Oh, wow.
And that's going to happen August 29th. They got a Rockin' Wrestling show at the Roxy. Brad Storm hopefully will get a spot in this show. I want to be there for this show, doing some commentating. And it should be a good one. You're going to have Wildfire Tommy Rich against Doug Gilbert. And Tommy Rich has been around for a while. Fans that don't know him don't know much about wrestling. Or
yeah.
Just, you know.
If you grew up anywhere in the South, you grew up loving Tommy Rich.
Yeah. And Tommy Rich, I'm going to try to get him on the show in the next couple of weeks. You know?
That would be great.
I'd like to have more responses. You need people need to be listening out there. 542-8476. Give me a call up here. I got my guest calling up shortly, I believe. And I guess Notorious D.O.G. fell asleep.
Yeah, probably.
I think he might have fell asleep and got tired.
He probably reconsidered his what he had to say to the Darkness. I mean, have you ever seen the Darkness? You push him a little too far, and he's liable to go off like a firecracker.
Yeah, well, Notorious D.O.G. pounded me though like a couple weeks ago, and I was
really?
Like,
oh yeah, I remember you telling me
that.
about that.
And I just wouldn't have any of that, man. I was just like, I might retire.
Yeah. You're not getting paid to go out there and have them hit you like that with the cheap shots.
Yeah, I guess I got in the way a little bit. I think he meant to hit one of the wrestlers and hit me instead. But yeah. Well, anyway, a little bit of rumors here going on. Whoop-de-doop. I mean, this is a big deal, you know. Both Jacques Ragu, whatever, and Pierre Ouellette of the Quebecers will be getting repackaged, and it will be for a single competition. They will also receive pushes. You know, I'm thinking they might receive pushes, but why? I mean, these guys, they're old. I mean, yeah, they're old like Hulkster and everybody, but they were never big, you know.
Right.
You know, the the Quebecers when there was when he had that old partner, I don't remember the guy's name. I don't even want to go there because I don't know those guys too well.
Did you see him in the Brawl for It All match? He had the patch on.
Yeah, he got beat bad.
Gosh.
By Dr. Death.
Oh man, you figured they let him go without the patch for that match, but man.
Yeah, you know, talking about an upset. Bart Gunn beat Dr. Death Steve Williams in the Brawl for It All.
Oh, wow.
And Bart Gunn pulled off an upset. They were hoping that it would be Dan Severn and Dr. Death. He got knocked out. Dr. Death got knocked out.
Oh, goodness.
Big left hook, man, right to the face.
Gracious.
Knocked him out for the 10 count. I was in shock.
Damn.
You know, and it just has to... It has to, like, you know, when they go back in the ring, people have to be second-guessing them. And also a guy that was in Brawl for It All, Brockus, the new German powerhouse.
Yeah.
He got beat pretty bad, too, in that. And, you know, they're trying to make him like the strong guy, you know?
Right, yeah. I remember when they were talking about bringing him out as the next new thing, and he just didn't go over it.
They're like, well, he's a better wrestler than a boxer, you know? And I'm like, okay.
He's not much of anything.
You know, also, what else do I have here? Yeah, we don't want to talk about Kintai. I just talked about them. And also, WWF Women Champ headed back to Titan. Yeah, there's a strong rumor going around that the former WWF Women's Champion Alundra Blaze is heading back to Stamford, Connecticut in the World Wrestling Federation to join the upcoming women division. And, all right, we got, here we go. We got our guest on the phone.
Oh, great.
Craig Justice. Craig Justice.
Yo, Bad Brad.
How you doing, man?
Good, how you doing?
All right, I got Major Payne with me today.
Uh-oh.
We're talking about International Wrestling Union news. Now, when are you going to be coming back to the IWU?
August 29th.
August 29th.
At the Roxy Theater.
All right, and who are you going to be facing? Can I ask that?
I got a challenge match against a fellow from the WCW by the name of Sick Boy.
Sick Boy is going to be there, huh?
Yes, we do.
And have you wrestled this man before?
No, I have not.
So you, what are you
first?
Yeah, what are you doing to prepare for this match?
Just training, hitting the weight room. I don't think I'm going to need too much training. It shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah.
From what I've seen of him on TV, it shouldn't be too hard for him.
So you're pretty confident this Sick Boy is going to go down 1, 2, 3.
Have to be. And he's bringing his little clan of Stuck Mojo with him.
Oh, he is.
So have something for them also.
All right, you better have a secret for them.
Oh, yeah. We got it planned.
I got another big question. Where have you been recently? You been out of country or what?
Yeah, I had a little trip to Europe.
Europe?
For 3 months, yeah.
Yeah.
So, learned a lot.
So you're going to show us some new patented moves or what?
We'll see. Have to be there. Yeah. August 29th at the Roxy Theater.
Cool. Are you
Huh?
Are you looking forward to any tag team? You going to tag up with anybody soon or what?
It's possible. talking with another guy who's also in Germany with me.
Uh-huh.
So a big dude, about 6'10", pushing 320, 325.
Wow.
Whereas he's got a little on me where I'm like 6'9",
Yeah.
300 pounds. So he's got me by a little bit.
Well, you tower over a lot of your opponents, and I've seen you beat up a lot of people. And the WWC, the World Wrestling Council, has been landing out of hand. They've been asking for you. What do you think about them?
I think I'd like to go in and do a couple shows with them.
I think that you could take a belt or two down there.
With your confidence, Brad, I believe I can, yeah.
So what do you think my situation over at IW is? You think I'll get a job over there?
Yeah, you should. You know the right person.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I know Craig Justice. Hey, where'd you get that name, Craig Justice?
I took it from Ice Train from WCW.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he just chatted with him one day, and he hooked me up with that Germany deal over in Europe.
Yeah.
And he said that Sid Vicious, when he first came out, that he went by the name Sid Justice.
Yeah.
And since a lot of people say that I kind of resemble
you do.
Sid Vicious, that I just took the name Justice.
You could
so there it is.
I mean, you could go by Sid. So you could say he's Sid Vicious. We could put him on a card, put Sid Vicious on there. They believe him. I mean, this guy looks exactly like Sid Vicious. And Justice, what are your plans in the future? What do you want to do? What belts do you want to win? What's your future goals, man?
Not too much worried about the belts right now. Just to, being looked at by WCW and WWF.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to get in one of the federations right there. But, I've only been in the business a little over a year, so I'm fairly new to it.
Yeah, so am I.
So, just taking it one step at a time.
Yeah.
Not giving up on my dream of becoming, maybe, I always want to be the world heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
You want to follow on Hulk Hogan and our Goldbergs, which I've done some work with Goldberg at the Powerplant.
Yep.
So I know him personally. I like to go in that direction.
So, a lot of fans out there go, yeah, man, I want to go do the power plant. I want to do the power plant thing. I know I can survive in it. Now, get some of the fans' hopes down and tell them, like, what qualifies you for a power plant participant.
Anything. You got to be, you can't be over, 32 years of age.
Uh-huh.
You got to be at least 5'9", I think 200 pounds.
Wow, yeah.
But you get guys down there, who see it on TV and say, yeah, I want to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
And go down there. When I tried out, we had 35, 36 people try out, and 4 of us made it.
Wow.
And, that's pretty tough.
A lot of it has to do with size, though. If you're a big, overpowering guy like yourself, you can make it. I mean, they could brush up your talents, Oh,
yeah, but that just because you got size don't qualify you.
Yeah.
I mean, you got little small guys down there who just got the heart to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they just don't stop, don't quit. You go through a lot. I mean, I played college football at the University of South Carolina.
Uh-huh.
And the 3-day tryouts were probably worse than the 2-a-days of 2-week 2-a-days
wow.
of football practice.
Goodness.
Jeez. It's the hardest thing I've ever been through in my life.
Who's the trainers down at the power plant?
Dwayne with Sarge.
Sarge, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Sarge, Mike Winter, Pistol Pez Watley, and then Jody Hamilton, the old assassin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's the head guy down there.
Yeah, you got a lot of quality wrestlers training.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. And, it's the best of professional wrestling schools.
Yeah, I mean, like in professional wrestling, too, if you make it to the big 3, you got to be, physically and mentally prepared because you're going to be doing a lot of traveling, a lot of wear and tear on the body.
Oh, yeah.
And, you don't get to work out every day, and you want to keep up that physical, power.
Enough about it, traveling so much. But, that's what you want to do. You love it.
Yeah.
So, putting on that show in front of the fans.
Yeah, I know you want to be your own wrestler, but who do you model yourself after?
I'd have to say, I like to do a little Sid. Remember in the old days, Nikita Koloff.
Yeah, Nikita Koloff.
The good power stuff, yeah.
He's a good wrestler too, from WCW.
Oh yeah. Bring back the good power things.
Yeah.
I don't really care about the high flying little guys doing this somersaults off the top rope or whatever. I'll come off the top rope, but I want to see the good power stuff, a good power body slam, the high suplex, stuff like that.
Yeah. And what is your patented move right now?
I guess you can say I do a power slam. Come on, I do a frog splash off the top rope.
All right, 6'9", doing a frog splash off the top rope.
That's impressive.
That is impressive.
Love it.
All right, man. I got Notorious D.O.G on the other line. Thanks for calling, Craig Justice.
All right.
And where are you going tonight? You going out?
I guess I'm going out with you.
All right, man. If you want to see Brad Storm and Craig Justice, go to Ballyhoo's tonight.
Go to Ballyhoo's.
All right, I'll talk to you later, bro.
All right, Brad.
Take care.
All right.
Notorious D.O.G.
Well, hey, man, sorry I'm late calling out.
All right, no problem, man. The Darkness wasn't here, but his friend Major Payne's here. Tell him what's up.
Yeah, I heard you had some words for the Darkness. I'm willing to pass them on for you. I don't want to be a part of this.
I'll tell you what, Darkness runs my name down on the radio again. And me and him will be in the ring, and I'll show him what wrestling's all about.
I don't know. He's about 5'8" and about 350.
5'8", 350 sounds like a big bowl of Jello to me, kind of like that fat pig Frenchy Riviera.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I'll tell you what, I bounce him all around the ring like a basketball.
Right.
Heck yeah. Notorious D.O.G. Yeah, I think they were mad at you because you hit me that one day. I was like, I'm not mad at you. And, you know, I was in your way. I have to admit, I got in the way at Millennium Wrestling, and you just had to clean me out. You
got to understand this, Bad Brad.
Yeah.
When you're in a heated battle like that, people are hitting you with all kind of stuff every which way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but when I wrestle, my hair is in my face.
Yeah.
I had blood in my face.
Yeah.
I had hair in my face. I didn't see who I was hitting at. I just knew somebody was right there in front of me, and I hit the first person I could.
Yeah, and I went out, man. I went out like a light. I was gone. But, I mean, I was talking to the fans, too. I was like, yeah, you know, even, you know, if they hit you and you get up later on, that's out of respect, too, somewhat, you know, because, you know, somebody like Notorious D.O.G. knocking me out, I think that's pretty cool, you know.
Brad, you've never done nothing bad to me, and I hated I had to hit you like that. Like I said, I couldn't see who you was. But your buddy, the Darkness, ain't that what his name is?
Yeah, he's not my buddy because he called you a punk.
Well.
He's a little cannonball.
Bring him out next time.
I'll bring him out. Well, okay, well, speaking about matches, talk about Music City a little bit. We saw you against Bad News Bucky Siegler.
Yeah, Bucky Siegler, he's been around a long time. Bucky Siegler's a tough competitor.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for the help of that little skinny referee,
Straight Call Star.
A superstar, Straight Call Star Stevens, is that his name?
That's his name.
If it wasn't for him, Bucky wouldn't be holding the strap right now. I'd have that belt around my waist.
Let me ask you something about this Georgia Extreme strap. Does it have any importance anymore with Music City? Because it looks like Music City's taking over the spot.
Music City Wrestling is coming and making its presence felt in Georgia. Right now, they're coexisting with Georgia Extreme. Georgia Extreme probably will merge into Music City. But yeah, the Georgia Extreme belt still has weight because Billy Black defends the MCW Georgia Heavyweight belt all over the state.
Okay.
Georgia Extreme is just the town, is the promotion, the towns that Georgia Extreme runs, which, from what I understand, they may be turning that belt into the MCW Southeastern Heavyweight title anyway. So.
All right.
Who's to know? You know, Bill Behrens has a lot of things in the works. Music City has a lot of things in the works.
Yeah.
Georgia Extreme has a lot of things in the works. And as you know, I work for 2 or 3 different promotions. A Great American. You know, we have towns. We run Griffin. We wrestle in Covington. I'll be in Covington
this week,
Saturday night here the 1st. You know, we have Loganville with Georgia Extreme tomorrow night at the Georgia Bell Flea Market. So. Wrestling is really, really hot in Georgia right now, or all over the country. Matter of fact, I'll tell you how hot wrestling is.
Tell me.
I walked into a gas station convenience store today, and where they usually have their Tommy Hillbilly T-shirts and their Just Do It T-shirts and all that, what did I see? I seen NWO red and black T-shirts. I seen 2 or 3 different Bill Goldberg T-shirts, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker Sting. How many times have you ever seen WWF licensed or WCW licensed merchandise hanging in a chevron?
Not much, and you know it's on the rise. You know,
I
like
tell you,
said.
that's how hot wrestling is right now.
And it's on the rise, just like you are in GAWA. Speaking about that, Vicious Vic Rose are you going to be teaming up with him and facing Colt Dillinger and
Colt Derringer and Shadow? I'll tell you about that.
Tell me.
Me and Shadow were tag team partners for many years. Mr. Donnie managed me. I was one of the original members of the second generation Harley Davidson crew, I should say, after Scrap Iron Bill Ford. We've been together. We rode up and down the highways for years. We were tight. Something happened to them idiots, and they snapped a few months ago, and they've been jumping me every chance they get.
Yeah, they jumped Rose, too. Vicious Vic Rose was our guest last week, and he told me about what happened with them, too.
Well, you know, some areas of the country, of the state, me and Vic have vicious battles, no pun intended, but we have vicious battles against each other. Sometimes you got to overlook the differences you have with somebody to pull for the better of everything.
And I think
and against the Harley-Davidson crew, yes, me and Vic Rhodes will be tag teaming against them Saturday night in Covington. We'll be against them in Lawrenceville. We'll be against them in Griffin. Till this gets resolved, then me and him can continue our battles.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what? I think it's a good idea you two stick as a tag team because I think there's some gold in your future.
Well, me and Vic Rose have been tag team partners before. We held the title on 2 different occasions in the now defunct Warzone.
Yeah.
We were screwed out of them. I hope I can say that on the radio, but we were screwed out of them belts. And then that's where our differences came from. After that, he just had a changed attitude toward me, toward wanting to tag team. And me and him have had some big battles with him and Billy Black before they turned on each other. Me and my other tag team partner, Homicide.
Yeah. Speaking of Homicide, are you going to be doing any tag team work with him?
Oh, sure will. Me and him's always a team, you know. He just doesn't work for some of the promotions that I work for. He works for some different ones that I don't have anything to do with.
Yeah.
I work for some he doesn't have anything to do with. Me and Homicide are tight. Right now, well, as a matter of fact, me and Homicide were the last ones to hold the belts in Warzone. Nobody ever took them from us. We held the belts. And George Extreme, we took them from Billy Black and Vic Rose. And once again, we got screwed over by that so-called straight call Star Steven on that match.
Talking about Warzone, a lot of the people in Athens watched that show on Channel 34, and they were wondering what happened to Warzone.
What happened to Warzone?
Yeah.
Well, truth of the matter is, USA Network went in for some reason. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they distribute WWF.
Yeah.
And they went in and bought Channel 34. Why a big company like that would worry about a little bitty Georgia-based television show, but that Georgia-based television show had Extreme Championship Wrestling, had Music City Wrestling, and had Warzone Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Once we lost our TV station, it was really hard to get onto another station. They wanted so much money, and it was just like, okay, we're another independent running with no TV.
Yeah.
What's the use? So they folded.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was
a lot of independents do survive without television, though.
Well, that's true. That's true. Warzone hadn't been around long enough to build its fan base. You know, we went to several towns and did pretty well. I don't know, to tell you the truth. I don't like to get into the business end of the wrestling. I just assume do into the to the fighting end of it. I just assume beat people up as have any business deals with them.
Yeah, I agree.
Usually all my business deals end up with me beating them up anyway.
Yeah, and what about, are you doing any work over in Thomaston?
In Thomaston?
Yeah.
Tell you what, in Thomaston, I'm a living legend in Thomaston.
Oh, yeah.
I was just there, me and Homicide. Speaking of Homicide, we were there a couple of weeks ago. We wrestled the Pretty Guns, Terry Floyd, and Cody Gunn.
Yep.
And it was a bloodbath. I mean, every one of us was busted wide open. People, just like in Warzone, people bringing stuff to hands you to hit people with, and which is kind of wild, you know. But you hand me something, I'm gonna nail somebody with it.
Yep.
Yes, Thomaston. I love Thomaston. I can't wait to get back down there. I believe we'll be back down there the 15th of this month.
Yeah, they pulled in a crowd of 600 people last time.
Oh yeah, at least that.
Yeah.
And the coolest thing about that, everywhere I go, people boo me. They don't know whether they want to boo me or cheer me, but I walked out.
Yeah.
I walked out of the dressing room in Thomaston, and I seen about 10 or 15 Notorious D.O.G T-shirts in the crowd, and people just loved it, man. They ate it up. The more we bleed, the more they cheer for us.
Yeah, man. You make people bleed a lot in your matches. And speaking of blood, Millennium Wrestling has to deal with a lot of blood in that there's matches. This past week, not too much blood, but 2 weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, we saw a lot of blood from you guys against
Winder.
Yeah, Kenny D's and Terry Pretty Boy Floyd.
Right.
And
well, we're all of us are practitioners of the old style, old school wrestling.
Yeah.
If you're wrestling fans out there and you're true fans, collectors, you collect old wrestling magazines.
Mm-hmm.
Every wrestling magazine from in the 70s, 60s, 50s, everybody was busted wide open. Everybody was bloody. They used to beat each other so bad till they bled.
Okay, let me ask you that one match. Tommy Wildfire Rich, and who was his opponent? They used to duke it out all the time.
Everybody, Tommy Rich wrestled, bled. Tell you, the best feud that happened in the 70s was Tommy Rich and Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer.
Yeah.
They beat each other so bad all over the country, and they ended their feud in a cage match in Atlanta at the Omni.
What a better way to end.
Precious Paul Ellering was with Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. Ole Anderson ran in, and that was probably the bloodiest match I ever seen. I was a teenager, and I went to that match. And that match right there, I believe, is what inspired me to become a professional wrestler. It's like, if these guys can beat each other to a pulp and get paid for it, that is what I want to do.
Hey, man, you can't, you can't beat it.
You don't see me, or you don't see Homicide, you don't see Vic Rose, you don't see us doing, you don't see us doing all that high-flying stuff. Yes, you come off the ropes and stuff, but all that lucha libre kind of crap, what the Mexicans do, what all they do, that's fine for what they do. But when you get down to hardcore, blood and guts, kicking ass kind of wrestling, then the best people you can call to see is Vicious Vic Rose, Notorious D.O.G, Homicide, the Harley Davidson crew, any of us like that.